Hi, my name is Kristen, and I'm the artist behind the Wicked Workshop, and welcome to my studio, better known as the Upside Down. So if you like going to conventions and you live in the southeast part of the US, you probably know what MegaCon is. MegaCon is a huge convention that has a ton of celebrities and all sorts of other guest artists come. And I've done this before. I met Skeet Ulrich, is the sweetest guy ever, and Matthew Lillard, super great guy. And I had them sign my Ghostface wreath. It was so much fun that I'm gonna do it again. And this time, if you haven't guessed by now, it's gonna be a Stranger Things theme. My plan is to meet Millie Bobby Brown and get her to sign my wreath. Unfortunately, she canceled, but that's okay. I got 2 other signatures that are just as awesome. So let's talk about the project. So the wreath that I'm gonna make is gonna be themed after season 4. So the main part of the wreath that I'm really excited to make is a Vecna silicone hyper-realistic face. Then I'm gonna add his house and make it look like he's towering over it with some cool red lightning. I'll add the grandfather clock and some Demogorgon flowers. And I didn't know what to do with this wreath at MegaCon. It would be insanely hard to hold it all day. It's so heavy. But thankfully, my husband came up with a really good idea. He said, why don't you make it a backpack? So I'm gonna do something weird and make a Dora Explorer backpack for a wreath. Dora. And who wouldn't want to be Dora the Explorer? That's my swiper. Oh. It's my swiper! Swiper, no swipe. But first things first, let's get my jetpack ready to go. And the first thing I'm gonna do is go to my local Goodwill and get a backpack because I'm just gonna be ripping it apart anyways. Ooh, sparkly. I absolutely love this store. I mean, look how neat and clean everything is. And look, somebody color coordinated this section. I mean, mwah. As an artist, it really just itches that one part of my brain. Now to what I came for, a backpack. I really just needed the straps to be black to match the rest of my outfit, and mission was accomplished. But before I go, I always like to say hi to some of my favorite films. Why are there so many movies to take home? No, really, you're coming home with me. Now that I got my backpack, I'm ready to destroy it. So my plan is to take off the straps and attach them to that wreath right there. I don't know exactly how I'm going to attach the strap to the wreath, but there's a couple of different ways that I'm thinking of, and we're just going to try it out and see which one works. So my first thought is that the straps are attached to the backpack using fabric. So maybe if I just cut around the straps and leave extra fabric, I could tie it around the branches and secure them that way. And that's exactly what I did. I just cut around the fabric to get the straps off the backpack, yeeted the part I didn't need, and kept the part that I did need. Now I'm going to tuck the fabric around the branches and then secure it in place. So my first plan is to sew it in place. I actually looked up the strongest stitch that you can do, and it's a simple back stitch, so that was easy enough. So I'm just going to quickly back stitch these in place. So it does work, check it out. All right. The only thing is the way I had to sew it on, I lost a lot of length, so I don't have any extra straps really, but that's okay because it fits. And I'm feeling like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Cowabunga. But I think it works really good. The only thing is, as I start to add stuff and it gets heavier, I might have to add some foam between my back and the wreath, so that way I'm not like a big voodoo doll. And as long as the board doesn't change anything how the wreath fits on me, then I should be able to sculpt and do some painting. So after adding the board in place, I thought it was actually really comfortable. I thought it was gonna make me feel like I'm like sleeping on a board, but I think I like that. It makes me have the best posture ever. Now I'm gonna start working on the first piece I'm gonna sculpt, the house. You've seen me do these types of houses before, like when I did Coraline, so go check out that video, but right now we're just gonna do a giant time lapse. Now I'm going to start working on the door you see with the stained glass. Now I'm going to start sculpting Vecna. And here, boys and girls, is when I realized his face was much too big for this wreath, and I had to cut it down a lot. But it's not a mistake, it's a happy accident, as Bob Ross would say. Just a little bit of nightmare fuel. Now to give Vecna his bath. Oh yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Chicka, 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 chicka. Sorry, I had to. Now to give him a thorough cleaning with some acetone, which, check this out, I put it in the cup and it melted through the cup. Crazy, right? Next time you go to take off nail polish off your nails, look at the percentage of acetone in that stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous. You have to have certain paint to be able to paint on silicone. I use some smooth-on products, which I will list in the description. When using these types of product, you have to be careful and make sure that you're in a well-ventilated area. I'm in my garage with a ventilator on, and that's because I really treasure my lungs. Usually I do a safety dance in all my videos, but I guess I forgot for this one, so go check out my other videos. Now I'm gonna make Vecna's eyeballs. I purchased this mold kit from 4th Seal Studios. Then I punched out some high quality photos of irises and pupils, attached them using a DecoArt clear coat, used red yarn to make the veins on each of the eyeballs. Then I used some UV nail polish to give him that cloudy eye look. And then I just put them in the mold with the clear coat. And ta-da! This part was so much fun. I really need to do this more. Then I just pushed his eyeballs into his mask-like face. This part was probably a little more difficult than usual because I did backfill it with foam. Now I'm going to start making Vecna's grandfather clock. It was actually extremely hard to find a watch. The Goodwill doesn't sell them, I guess, anymore unless you go online, and a lot of stores just don't carry them, probably because there's smartwatches and cell phones now. Nobody cares about classic watches anymore. I did end up finding this one at Walmart, and I just tore it apart and kind of gave it a little bath of dirtiness so it wasn't so clean and shiny. Now I'm just going to wrap this piece of wood that I cut out into the shape of a clock with some clay and some sculpty glue. I'm going to make sure to leave this one a little bit more plain because I need to have a place where the actor can sign it. Now I'm going to start making the Demogorgon flowers. This is actually the very first idea I had for this wreath. I just really love the idea of making little tiny flowers that look super dangerous. It actually turned out to be one of my favorite parts of the project. It's between that and the Vecna mask. So I decided the best plan here for the teeth going inside the flower was to actually paint the bottoms or the inside of the flower first before putting in all those little teeth. I usually don't paint clay that hasn't been baked yet, but this worked out great. Then I rolled out and baked about 1 million tiny little teeth. Then I used a pair of tweezers to pick up the clay tooth, dip it in some clay glue, and then squish it into the clay flower. Did it take forever? Absolutely. Was it worth it? I really think so. I think they turned out so cool. That's actually one comment I get a lot is, was that step really necessary? Well, yeah, I guess I could have painted on the teeth, but they just wouldn't be as cool. To me, it's all about the details, and if that step takes an extra day or two, then that's what I'm gonna do. Which is why these projects usually take so long. This wreath, for instance, took me about 2 weeks to make, and I ran out of time, which you'll see now. This is the last video before I show the reveal. I didn't show everything of me putting it together, but at least it got done, and I did make it to MegaCon. And as always, a big thank you to my coven over on Patreon. You all are the grandfather clock to my Vecna. I can't begin to tell you how much fun I had at MegaCon. I loved meeting everyone and making new friends. I think I'm going to make it over to Spookla next, and I would love to see you there. But until then, I have some really big projects coming up, so make sure to subscribe and stick around. See you soon!